have what it takes actually to win this one. They still have to prove that they're able to take EG though.
I overall like IG's draft better, so I'm gonna have to go with IG. I think EG is showing they're the better team. They're playing better Dota, but draft-wise, this Sven pick just ticks the right boxes for me. So.
All right, well, I'm very happy to hear that, and I'm sure a lot of people at home are also very happy to hear that we're going to have a little bit more of a competitive game on our hands compared to what we saw previously. Isn't that right? Let's
just putting the words in our mouths. And that right and everything. I would say that IG, you know, looks like they have the best draft so far in game number 3, but EG is also setting up Razor for a really, really good game. I'm leaning towards EG still. You know, I think Razor should have a really good time. It's also a possibility. I think most likely they're going to run an aggressive trial in, leave Ice alone, and that's what working for them so far. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've got to kind of disagree. I think it is another outdraft fight. I don't know how IG is going to be able to lane against this Razor. You know, both side laners, the Underlord or the Sven, whatever the matchup's going to be, they're going to have a bad time. I think they overlook the potential of the Razor coming in as the last 5th pick, and I just feel it's another draft where EG just looks to be coming out ahead.
Well, will we have a 4th game of this best-of-5 grand finals, or will this finally be the time for NA, the time for EG, the time for Arteezy and Abed to win a major? We're going to find out. Odie Pixel on the cast, take it away.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, this 3rd game now. 2-0 EG up at the moment against IG. Without a doubt, though, Lacoste, this is, I mean, as you said, you actually prefer IGs, but in comparison to the last game, it's a million times better.
Oh, for sure. They don't have the Faceless Void. We've seen Liquid had some success with Sven. I think it's a good hero here, you know, having that extra armor, extra, you know, something against Lycan, which should be good, you know, extra movement speed so you can run away from the static link. Also doesn't sound too bad. He's going to be the primary target, you know, for that link. Razor's like, yeah. I'm just gonna link you. This is my job throughout most of the game to just be able to link him. Fly does not have a sentry ward. This is the 2nd time when IG's playing tired that they've set up observer ward behind the tower. Might get de-warded.
Abed, yet again, on his Storm Spirit. We've seen it, you know, in the series sort of get pushed further and further up in the draft order. This game picks first. Do you think IG have reacted to Abed's Storm enough with their picks, or do you see this as another game where the Storm can have a pretty fun time?
They're playing into the root mechanic coming out from the Underlord into Nyx Assassin. I think Kaka, you know, he wanted to be the one that has the mana burn, has that stun, easy setup with the Carapace on the Stone Remnant, and yeah, they have much more than what they did before. Also, like Remnant coming out from the Void Spirit also could be potential setup with the Yule Scepter. So in this particular matchup, you know, against the Void Spirit, you know what your item build is going to be on Emo.
Arteezy, going in onto JT.
One more hit.
One more hit. You gonna be able to find it?
No, he can't get it anymore. Like the Tango plus the armor coming up from the tier 2 tower and some extra regeneration will keep him alive.
It's an aggressive move there from EG. They hit the level 2.
Courier is so dead.
Nice. Quite successful with it. Arteezy chased down here by the 2 of them. The Firestorm, is it enough to bring him down? It isn't. Get a Tango going. Kaka still continuing to chase down. We'll have stun again in a second. If Kaka lands the stun, Arteezy's looking pretty dead. He'll be able to do so. Kaka getting first blood for IG.
Good start. You know, they decided to go in, try to get that kill. All they needed was like 1 extra hit. Not managed to do it. Kaka comes back with the first blood, lands another stun, boots of speed, and now this sets up Underlord for a bit of a better, you know, start. Razor, he will always want to link you in the lane. One of the reasons why they picked him. The slow, this will make him need 1 mana for a fight.
Able to get it. This time, Arteezy will manage to finish up the kill. Not quite enough mana for a stun, so could have been a hold back Arteezy chasing JT down. So far, Abed versus Emo. Legend for Emo. Moment. Very, very close. Top lane. See, Ice struggling to be able to step up and get the CSs. But certainly it's just going to be a lane where Fly, he's going to have a good time. We're going to get a pretty free farming Sven up here, back involved.
You're not really threatened. A kill with Lycan and the Earth Spirit, unless you make like a really, really big mistake, you go for some kind of a dive. He should have a really decent time. Earth Spirit trying to make a move on a mid lane, something we've seen before.
Good time. This moment, Crit will look for the opening. See if they can grab Emo. Arbex gets forward with the Vortex back into the ground. Is it enough? Close it down. And that will be enough to save him. Emo keeping himself alive. That fated move that Crit always makes around this time.
And he will have a healing cell, which was pretty much the full HP. And this is what they want to have. Lycan on the top lane, getting some extra XP, because Crit, they can't kill the top. So leaving Lycan alone, Sven with 2 points in cleave will push out the lane always. He wants also to be able to farm the side camp potentially, or the small camp, and then like your Lycan will also farm.
The spirits unite.
Heading over to join Emo and Ollie in the mid lane. They're bringing the three of them in. Arbed very low on mana and health at the moment. Crit, Rune will manage to refill the bottle here for Arbed. So IG will show all three of them now in the mid lanes. Safety is going to be there for EG on the side lanes. We know that the supports are all around the backing up Emo.
And if we look at the bottom lane, Razor with the Quelling Blade, it's no shame. If you need some kind of help, like even if Easy's buying it for all the new players out there, just buy a Quelling Blade. It will help you out, even if you're a ranged hero.
Mid lane, Arbed. Kaka was able to close in on him. Quite enough burst though between him and Emo. So Arbed bringing plenty of regen out. Charles Clarity's Mango's good to go, as he'll be able to keep himself in the lane. 5-minute bounty runes coming up. Still just, you know, Fly having a much better time compared to what he was in the lane last game. Setup is so much better. This time, actually able to hit some.
They are not making any stacks so far, and I've seen Ancients not stacked, nothing in the jungle stack. Sven would love to have. So maybe Phoenix eventually, you know, if Sven goes to the jungle a bit earlier, then Phoenix takes over the lane, Sven can just farm. But Sven right now does not need help, especially once he hits that level 6. There's also some kill potential, possibly on Lycan, because he's only level 5.
They try and punish Emo before he's hit the 6. Another move with Crit kicks him back into the reach of Arbed. Coming in. Not quite enough to kill off Emo. Both mids to hit the 6. Arbed will do so a little sooner than Emo. They're able to maintain control of the runes.
Dire just fortified.
So having the Kaka coming over towards the mid as well. Still Crit, he's going to be the one to grab it. Takes it away. Kaka won't be able to make the move in on the sort of moments with Kaka coming over towards the mid. It is giving more and more space for RTZ down bottom to get ahead in this matchup. 30 for 8 against the 15 for 3 of JT. JT having slightly tougher time than Nana by size in the other half of the match.
Storm Spirit, he got level 6, going back to base. Let's see if he decides to make an aggressive move on the bottom lane. Lane is in a good state, you know, he has, but he's moving top. Lycan just hit level 6. Does not like, ideally we would want to have a Neko book as well, so you can make a move. Crit is already there, level 3, still saving a point. That's another point in Boulder Smash.
Mark with initiation and multiple TPs coming in from IG. Bring them over both Emo and Kaka. Significant start. He's actually able to find that onto Ahmed. Ahmed out with the zip just in time. Close there, Emo nearly finding the Remnant follow-up.
They kind of split the stack 50-50. This time around, they're TZ going for a Falcon Blade. Last time he played the Razor safe lane, like he was set up for such a good game. Went straight into Boots of Travel, but this hero needs some kind of mana. Even though you have Crystal Maiden in your team, Maiden usually does not put more than 1 point in aura anyway, especially early on. You just want to max that Frostbite, especially against Void Spirit. The root mechanic is super good. So I can understand why he's getting that a bit of damage, a bit of a tankiness, and some extra mana regen.
Really want to try and catch Arbed out around the mid again. Kaka just sitting on the sidelines. In case aggression's there from EG onto Emo. Rune, this is Ryan Arbed. They're ready to try and hold for the top one. Remnant's down. 40 bottom anyway. Again, maintaining control of the power roots. Gonna get himself in, force Solly to take it, so it won't be saved for Emo.
What a move from Crit. Now, he uses a TP just to secure that the enemy mid laner does not get a refill on the bottle, that does not get any power rune. Underlord playing very aggressive here.
Start to rift out though. Water from the cliff around the mid. They know that the movement was being made towards him. JT not around any longer than he needs to. Fly. We'll see what sort of build-up he goes for from Market Madness. If it variates from what we did see from mid-game. So performances here at the Major.
Yeah, a bit more like status resistance with S and Y. He also went for a blink that game, upgraded it to Swift Blink, I believe, later on. He didn't go for Aghanim Scepter at all.
And then Emo, jump in, trying to set up onto Crit, they've got it.
To deny my
Nothing
way.
good happening to Radiant's middle tower.
But not having any opportunities to get in and help. Cracker looking pretty strong here in the mid lane. Top tower starting to get pressured a bit by Ice with the Necro books. Be able to force Ollie all the way back here. Quite the nuisance here for the Phoenix. Do his best with the body blocks to get some more damage in. A lot of space given for Ice to continue farming right up by the tower. So having Arbed and Crit in the neighborhood, if any TPs come in from IG, trying to hold off this push.
Right now, Fun is just jungling. Having that Mask of Madness, clearing the stacks. They're also going to stack Ancient Creep Camp one more time. While meanwhile on the top lane, Ice, high level. All needs a bit under level. Like, he's level 3 on Phoenix. He needs his help.
A couple of times now, we've been able to pick up these supports in the move. Picks it from Arvek.
He got a man.
Arvek able to dodge it there. With the illusion we're still low on the mana though. The whole of IG chasing it down. The Roots from JT as they bring down the storm. They'll turn over towards RTZ. Fly. Control on this. Set up there for Tucker. RTZ looking to be in a whole world of trouble. He stunts around. IG bring the fight around the mid lane as they take down the 2 core.
Very aggressive there from IG. Also, Solarstrid dipping in. And then, like, nice dodge with the illusion rune, but does not pop the mango. He had 1 mango to work with, I believe, and also a bottle charge. Maybe he could have gotten out of the trouble, but decided to focus on the voice line.
Avoid that temptation.
Let the fun begin!
Face being brought for Ice though, with all the action going on mid. The levels on the Necro book. Overall 2k lead here for IG. Lifeline being at a perfect spot as we go.
Dire's top
That
tower
dream scenario
has some
being
radiant
involved in
shape.
early action, cleaning up the entrance stats. This Sven
He's going to be big. Yeah, this time around, Fly, much better game, especially compared to Faceless Void. In game number 2, Phoenix still struggling a bit with the levels, you know, trying to take some XP from those stacks. The one who's also having a really good time is Underlord. Like, he's going for Road of Atos against the Storm Spirit, so Abed, he needs a BKB. Like, after he finishes that Orchid, BKB is pretty much a must-have.
And it looks like they can burst down Ice behind the root, they can. Even the reset to get out of there, same time with Ahmed goes in with dive. Crit able to collapse onto Ollie. Something in return, but again, these trades each and every time favouring that of IG as IG the stronger hold on this early.
They're moving together as a unit, Sven being, you know, very active. He doesn't necessarily need to be involved in the kills, but he shows up. They're like, yeah, we can't really fight Sven right now. He feels super strong, has Yasha, Bracer, Mask of Madness, going into that Sanj, you know, the extra movement speed to break the link from the Razor is going to be really good.
Try and catch them with the smoke, EG. So they've got to be careful. Fly has got strength ready to pop, but he can turn if they don't quite get the quick kill that they're looking for. Mid lane as well, also a hard place to fight into. JT's around. 1 pit laid out, set up for Arbet to get collapsed on completely by the following stuns.
And now it's Road of Atos done on Underlord, so he can keep them inside 3 points in Pit of Malice. It's just gonna be so hard for EG to push the towers. Like, this pit, as you mentioned, pretty much covers the whole area of the mid lane. Abed this time around not having as good game as we've seen in the other ones. Struggling a bit. They have the counters playing into Nyx Assassin. He's about to be level 8 compared to Emo, who's like level 10. I talked about the items but didn't finish my sentence where like whenever you play against Storm Spirit as a Void Spirit, most of the time it's going to be dual set. Okay, if we're able to sell that flag,
It's going to go down. We'll see if Byside decides to get anything in return they can. Rolls it, gets the connection onto Ollie.
Radiant's
Jason
middle
turns
tower
off
is
back
under
for it. Zaiji will back off with the Phoenix gone. Big Kaka on the hunt. Abed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
HP
attack.
full mana. Super alone won't be able to do much. Maybe if Emo's able to close in on this, the two of them together can take him. Zabed stepping up.
Where's the
Jets
party?
thinks Radiant's
Won't
bottom
quite be able
tower
to
is
get in.
about to
Kaka
fall.
didn't quite get in range of the tower once the remnant exploded. So Abed will manage to live another day.
Okay, Screw just on top.
Starting some action down bottom. Abed's going to be in with the follow-up. With the control. Bloodfly will turn with the stun, but he hasn't damaged.
EG, they see, you know, they saw 3 heroes on a mid lane. They're like, we got a glimpse of Sven. Let's just go and try to take it down. Because they know there's not going to be any follow-up. It's not going to get any help. Nyx Assassin shown mid with Vendetta. Like, very nice move from EG there.
Pick-off potential still incredibly strong from the Storm Earth Spirit duo we've seen run so many times with great success. Trying to soak up some XP behind the tower. IG grab that pass. Dive in, take him out, and will manage to claim this tier 1 for themselves. The objectives
And
getting
here's
as
a
much as
fortification
they
for
can done,
Radiant.
even with Lifeline off the
Jex
map.
thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall. And he's
JT
wrong.
will be able to secure the bottom tower. Like, this Underlord is
Radiant's
in the
bottom
middle of
tower
the
is under
pack, but
attack.
feels very unkillable unless they bring the numbers.
Running in for Ice.
Jex thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall.
Ice goes down. Didn't have the summons out. Lifeline could be in ahead over. Dealing with the Necro. Be able to control, take down both of them. 9-4, 3k lead. IG holding on to this advantage. No signs at the moment of EG being able to really close the gap on Flyfly's farm. This Sven is going to be able to stay nearly sort of an item ahead at this pace. Fiji can't find enough action going in their favor.
Necro 3 is done on Lycan, so they should be, you know, ready to fight, especially once Abed finishes the Orchid. There it is. They can't stop him. But the Pit of Malice, like, this is your biggest problem in this game, you know, besides Sven. Because Underlord with a good Pit of Malice into another Road of Atos, it's just too good. Like, he's also completely nullifying the damage that comes from Lycan these fights, especially in these smaller areas where, like, you can't just pass. Gain room top.
Nemo gonna commit aggressively here.
Don't get it!
He's got Nemo's dead as well. He had just enough damage.
Oh,
Now they're chasing for more. On the end, he takes down the supernova. Triple kill. The grab there with the ball. Take him down as well. A team wipe out of nowhere. They're 3G.
This was a fight, you know, he goes in, he uses a dual scepter on himself, and yeah, just the perfect setup for Earthgrid to use his abilities. Abed, meanwhile, picks up that Arcana on the Storm Spirit. Kind of a bad egg there to try to make stuff happen, but they already lost multiple heroes. Man,
I mean,
EG, like, we're gonna see that one again.
As you said it, you know, such an aggressive move from Emo, using pretty much all his mobility and escape to fully initiate. Just drops to bail them out. Must have been so close to completing the rift, but the damage very well prioritized there by EG as they bring down JT's Underlord. And from that point onwards, IG, they didn't have a backup plan.
They did not. You know, they get the good jump, they get the good initiation, and as you mentioned, like Emo using all of his abilities pretty much to close the gap and aggressive dual scepter, he has nothing to protect himself with anymore.
9-10, that lead that IG had closed completely there off the back of that team fight. See there, all that progress that IG were building up off the back of a solid start with the lanes and with Lifeline's farm, it's just gone in an instant.
I want to see what Arteezy's next item is going to be. Last time, when he was playing Razor, he got so much value from Blink Dagger pickup. I believe it was against Ami's Monkey King, where he just wanted to get on top of him. And then this might be also the item build here, you know, against Sven, now that you have a BKB, you don't care about any of the abilities pretty much that they can throw at you. So it could be a really nice pickup.
G, now in a position to go for Roche. Has been scanned out immediately by IG, and IG have the ults ready to go. They've got Supernova and they're ready for this fight. Evo's trying to head in with the invitation. Now they've seen him. The side, the push, the pull back to the vortex. Evo's in trouble. He finds sometimes straight up left to the start. Quick catch it perfectly. Gets Evo to touch them out. They're trying to get on. Sometimes will fall to the firestorm. Eventually might be taken out of there. But again, IG losing the team fight, and once again, Emo, he's on the front. He's just not prepared for EG to react as quickly as they do. He feels that he's so strong with the invis. Sentry's laid down, EG know he's there, and Crit, instant setup there with the silence into the stun. There's no escape for Emo.
Oh, they just have his number this time around, because like Emo is playing so aggressive. Like they have Necrobook units, they're trying to go for Roche. You know there's going to be Sentry there like 99% of the time. He still decides to go for that play. And he gets punished.
Definitely starting to hurt IG. After he's having a very solid start. I think from the 7-0-2 at the beginning. He's 2 kills now back-to-back on Emo, slowing the momentum down. EG over to the side. Crit finds to catch onto Ollie.
Ollie can't catch a break this game. Like, they have so many tools to deal with him. They don't really have that, you know, high impact speed hero, but also he did not really place some good eggs this time around. Crit in again.
Move over. JT's gone. Another side, it's another roll. With the vortex of Ollie. And Emo's gone again. The text starting to come out. As Crit is just setting up kill after kill after kill. As you said, they can't catch a break, IG, but they seem to consistently catch a Crit. And he's on them every single time.
Crit has just been amazing. A bit of a slower start to his search. He didn't manage to find any openings early on, but these rolls, these silences, like the spell cast, everything was pretty much on point, and this should be the free Roche.
No, I don't think after those last few events, IG's going to risk going over there again. GG. Controlling this area perfectly. Not leaving any chance for us to get a good setting up around Roche.
Immortality is
He's going to have the
mine.
Aegis ready for the next one.
Arteezy was thinking, do I get a Sanj? Do I get a Blink Dagger? He saw how the last fight went. Decided to go for a Blink Dagger, which I really like. You know, being able to just jump on the Sven. Like, he's never going to feel that comfortable playing into Razor. And they've shut down Emo. Emo was having such a good time. Now he's nowhere near his second item.
Jax thinks Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall.
3 back-to-back
He's
deaths,
wrong.
just destroying his early game completely.
Dire's top tower.
One more move like that, those impacts, he's going to pull off the
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Top lane EG,
Dire structures are fortified.
tier 2s.
Dire's top tower.
If you want to do anything about this, see with the way last
Jax
few
thinks
fights have gone,
Radiant's bottom
very
tower.
hard to make that call, especially
Dire's
into
top tower.
the Aegis. And then, eyes and Arbet.
Oh, not again.
Emo. Enough time to line up the roll. As another death. Bottom lane, Arteezy is going to be the BKB that started, they're looking to take him out. JC is going to be able to bring Flying Kaka back to safety. Ollie will manage
Jax
to
thinks
TP out.
Radiant's bottom tower is
But
about to fall.
they can't let the voice spirit die like this.
No,
Four
this
times
is
now.
4th time, exactly. Like Crit, he used the roll a bit prematurely, you know, considering if you use the Stone Remnant. So he didn't even use the Stone Remnant, still connects on the target. And you
Radiant
can
are
feel that
scanning
JP
enemies.
is afraid. Once he's using Dark Rift, he needs to be able to control Void Spirit, otherwise someone might get kicked out of the range, and then you're just going to be left there alone.
Very risky here. IG, they've smoked up whilst they don't have Emo, and it's into an Aegis. Maybe, I mean, it's going to be that sort of surprising move that it will catch EG by...
Oh, they're not going to catch anything.
anything.
Even if they caught Fly, it's still not worth it. I can understand the aggression that they wanted to do, be a bit more, you know, active, because there's no shapeshift, there was no BKB on Razor. Draven, as you said, they still have Aegis on the Storm up and running for 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Dire's top
Back up
tower
with the
has
push.
seen
Will manage to
Radiant
finish
shape
up tier 2.
Oh, they need to talk about the items because Lycan and Razor are going for the same item though, so he just like swapped. He bought a casual plate mail, which is also fine. He wanted to get the AC, but realized Lycan is also going for one.
Pick up the axe instead.
Casual plate mail is also fine. You know,
Yeah, against
playing
this
into
Sven.
Sven feels like a good item.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just as you said, you just need to be able to BKB, get on top of the Sven, get the link going, and just survive through the initial
thinks Radiant's
physical
bottom
burst
tower
that
is
Sven
about
will
to
still
fall.
have at the start of the link
He's
dodge
wrong.
string. Live through that, Sven's not being able to take you down. Razor, you're just going to be able to force the Sven to have to back off each time, and with the control that EG has,
Radiant's
rather
bottom tower is
difficult
under attack.
for Fly to do. This is the BKB now, but those BKB usages have to be flawless from the Sven.
For sure. JP's Lord of Chaos. Oh, another jump. It's just gonna be on the next assassin. The next assassin does not ever feel comfortable playing in any of the Necro 3 heroes like a Beastmaster, Lycan, Vitas. Let's see the damage.
They're trying to start something on Rock. He already feels the way that this fight's going. He started the rest of that. Constrict has been committed though by Fly.
Is Dire going to let
A
that
bit of an awkward move there.
Yeah!
You see very early on that JT did have no inclination of sticking around for the fight.
If they get a stun on Ranger, I think they commit instead of getting back, because they could potentially just bring down Razor low enough to kill him with the Sven's God Strength. No blink.
Still wants to go, still wants to make something happen with this Constrict. He's stepping up. JT's gone.
That's not a good bit of malice. See, if we're gonna see that again, Razor managed to walk around the bit of malice, like good moves from Arteezy there, get the static link off, and also he did not block that passage. Like, check the bit of malice. Like, it was a bit more aggressive, good jump from the Storm Spirit, and the Razor just goes around, manages to get out and follow them.
Yeah, it stays on Fly for more than long enough to force Fly to have to run. No chance of taking the fight anymore when Fly is left. 120 damage there to the link. 4k lead now for each. Fly's farm still in a good place, but his last 3 fights, Arteezy's caught up completely on his Razor.
He's going into Aghanim Scepter, which is also okay. Was thinking about Sanj, a bit of a status resistance, maybe transition that they have as Halberd against Sven, which would also be fine, but getting Aghanim Scepter gives them a bit more like push potential, and then you can deal with the 2 targets. I don't know why, like, in the description it says when striking buildings, it will only target towers, barracks, and like those buildings are actually buildings inside the base are not effective. Like, it would be too powerful if you could actually go for that.
Oh, and there goes Dire's bottom tower. Dire don't look too scared of Radiant's top tower.
I like how that's still called a building. Couldn't think of anything different.
I mean, Dota's a very creative game, you know, there's going to be limits
Dire's
to
bottom tower is
creativeness.
under attack.
Building. Maybe we'll see it again in a moment.
Look at Dire's bottom tower, Jax.
We have the bottom lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant
Pressing
just
by Ice. Icing it again. This is
Look at Dire's bottom tower, Jax.
can't do anything here if you're IG.
Dire
Can't
don't
turn
look
up
too
to pushes
scared
for
of
EG right
Radiant's
now.
top tower.
Got to try and look to get the trades going. So take the
Radiant's
tier 1
top
top,
tower.
IG.
Crit has a BKB. Earth of Shadows, BKB.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Lycan units.
And
Trying to
over
push
here,
on the bottom lane. They
Radiant's
also
top
have a
tower.
siege creep.
Look at Dire's bottom tower, Jax.
They know something is up. Like EG, they have a good read.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
IG smoked on a completely different side of the map.
It's going to take them quite a while to get over it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're heading in the right
Dire are
direction.
scanning for enemies.
See if they can get a jump. But say EG's going to feel that something's coming over. EG, they're going to be prepared. They're
Dire's
holding
courier
close
has
to
been
one another
killed.
on the high ground.
Crimea River.
Really
Radiant are
really
scanning
want
for
to try and
enemies.
fight into this.
Look at Dyer's bottom
EG, they
tower,
have
Jax.
vision on the high ground. They're scouting things out. They're sure that there are no
Were you
boards from
paying
the enemy
attention?
team
Yeah.
with the Necros, and now they're going to start pushing in some damage,
Dire
forcing a
just
glyph from IG. Next Roche may respawn in 30 seconds.
The next objective they'll look for are CC pull out the Pelagonims. While they lose curry in the river, but that almost gives up the core move of IG. So IG will have to
bottom
get
tower
back
is
to
under
showing
attack.
themselves in the mid lane. Really just prepare for the high ground effect. Fighting EG outside of the base has ended terribly the last few times that IG tried to go. Mid lane. The opening here on
That's a
one.
good job.
The change comes coming out. I'll make him survive, but IG's going to get blown off. He's taken down 100 to 0. Now the God's going to find that. Tells everyone pretty quick. This game's going to be blown off. IG able to find that opening. As RCG wasn't quite ready for that opening start.
I mean, if he pops a BKB there, I'm not sure if Blink Dagger was ready, but he needs to be careful. They have so many stuns, like stun from Sven, stun from Next Assassin. Let's see the Roche respawn, minute and 5 seconds. Arteezy will be out, but need to be a bit more careful.
A little bit too close to the base. Quite prepared. Didn't know that IG was all up there, and the pace had kind of slowed down. Things had started to calm off a little bit, so just getting a bit of a rude awakening there for that jump of IG.
Dyer don't look too scared of Radiant's top tower.
That's what IG can do with this. Seconds though until Arteezy's back up, so not too long whatsoever. We'll respect that as soon as the form comes in. Themselves their half of the map.
Damage coming out of this Sven is still super high. You also find a really good neutral item, like Spider Legs. That's gonna give you move speed, ability to go over the cliffs. So, like that static link is not gonna beat that quick. He has a lot of movement speed from the Warcry, Mask of Madness, and SNY might be able to just break the
Closing in on Grima, the ball starts there for Twin. They grab it back on the ball, Emo's
This is
gone.
what I came for!
And we're seeing it every single game, really. When Iceberg starts, he's on his Beastmaster, he's on his Lightning, the Micro, the Fusion game. He gets
Phoenix as well.
And RPC, he's delivered JC. He's done with the JC looking to get out here with the rest of the Gotham. That's what they do. JC's not getting on tonight.
Crypt understands, like, we have enough damage to bring him down. Rolls onto the Phoenix, almost gets like a solo kill until Sven shows up. Fly back from Next Assassin.
That's it. Otherwise, they're going to start losing the base. Arteezy stepping up to the high ground. And with the push of Iceberg's army, Tier 3's gone. They do the slow side, probably on impact, ready to look to maybe even pressure a dive. They'll force out another buyback from IG as Emo.
That's a big one.
With a set of BKB is available from Ahmed, he's going to pop it immediately. He's trying to run Lifeline. He's pointing his best Lifeline's going to put the BKB and run. Supernova's out. EG steps aside from the distance. Wait to win it.
This is so big from EG. They just forced them to use 2 buybacks. They got the tower, and they also forced the egg plus the BKB from Sven. Roshan is up. They can go in. Like, they have enough damage. Necrobook is available. There's also AC on Lycan right now. So much minus armor coming out. They just have enough. Arteezy finishing off the Aghanim Scepter as well. You also found the Spider Legs. He's going to have a bit easier time chasing Sven with that static link.
Stupendous!
He's spotted out. Aegis and Cheese, IG, they don't want to let this get away. Coming in with the smoke. They have got strength, no Supernova, no Rift either, so JT won't be able to bail them out if the fight goes wrong.
No BKB for 20 as well on Sven. EG, go back, holding the high ground. They know that they are aware of this. Look at Crit positioning.
Crit trying to dispel any sort of smoke movement that IG attempt from the low ground. IG very hesitant about making moves at the time. Ollie. Ward down. Beating advantage, they're going to try and jump him up. He's going to look at this, going to work on it. Crit is able to land the 3-man silence, pushing the back. IG has got a split. A little jump ball from Ivan. They're looking to one fight, coming down. Looks to BKB, right. He'll make it out of there. JT's trying to go the rest of the map, but Emo's dead. Out from IG. Ollie's trying to TP over. Crits him with the stun, stops the TP escape.
Man, Crit, what a performance by him, you know. Holding there, they've split the Necrobook units. If they want to enter from this or the other side, and then he lands a 3-man silence. A good link from Arteezy. The reason why he bought a Blink Dagger. Yeah, we're going to see that one again.
I mean, the jump there, but Crit, he keeps just fully heads over boom. Certainly 3-man silence, they have to split. And JT can't offer anything at the start of it as Crit pressure just splits IG apart. and allows EG to clean them up one by one. Jake's very lucky to get away with his life. Emo, Ollie left behind. EG's got the space to move in. Aegis on Arteezy, and Cheese on Arbed, ready for the next fight.
They swap things around a little bit. They still show that, you know, Razor. I like that because Razor will be the one possibly going in a bit more aggressive, sieging the high ground with the Eye of the Storm, especially with the Aghanim Center. So they give him that instead, which I really, really like.
Here comes the push for the Aghanims. Arteezy using the lightning to break down the barracks. 1 second until Emo's up. The Red Bull is going to be fast as well with the AC help. Coming in, with the fortification. Running out a little bit. Get back in that arm, and he's good for the shot. This is away, time to put the zone.
Good short
They're on top of the one down for 70. No buyback on the Knicks.
They do not want to lose this Aegis yet because they just messed it up.
They're instantly out of there. Side swap in the open, break away from IG. IG won't be able to punish EG at all there.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They're still going to have cheese. They're still going to have Aegis for the next fight. Well, maybe they use the cheese. Who's holding the cheese? They don't have the cheese.
They had it on Arbed before.
Okay, he popped it.
24 to 13, 10k lead. Again, this third game, once more, IG just finding themselves in a position that... How do they get themselves out of it?
They're just crumbling. Like the decision making after a couple of deaths on Evo, he died for like 4 times in a row. Now trying Wolves, they're scouting them out.
Here we go, jump in from Arteezy's on the fly by top of the BKB. He's got to run. He's got to get out of there with the static. Damage over the side. Brings up the ball. Onto Evo's gone with no buyback for a minute, and Arteezy's ready to head back up to the high ground and into the base. No free play for the moment, though.
This is also the perfect item for Arteezy. You know, you get stuck on a cliff, just use the spider legs, can easily get off of it, and this allows him to just chase the Sven. It also allows him to not have boots of speed in his inventory, just keeping that blade melt. Like if he gets the first jump on Sven, if they don't stun lock him, Arteezy's good to go, and Fly will need the bail.
And every time having to use those to survive and run. Making it increasingly harder for IG to just set up a scenario where they can pop BKB God Strength and get the jump themselves, with EG's aggression just beating IG at it every single time. Playing far too fast for IG to keep up with once again.
Bloodstone, Orchid on Storm Spirit, level 20. He also went for the Electric Vortex duration talent. Like, this Crystal Maiden Aura really helping out how much farm Abed can get, and now going into Aghanim Scepter, which I really like. He also, you know, just prefers to get that item as, like, sometimes third, sometimes fourth, but really works well. Kind of like a budget black hole.
IG just having to sit back and wait now.
Lotus Orb is done on Underlord, but he needs to like precast it on Sven before Sven gets a good jump.
Emo, very careful how he jumps down the base like this. You know that EG, if they feel time is right, they'll be great on top of it. Now they can start easy. A little fight, but get the drag back. And they can bring down Arbed. Arbed will go down. Arteezy's one takes down. Arteezy's got the ones. He's got the Aegis. He's coming back for a second round of the Super Nova. He's going to be successful. Easy trying to get back to the help him out. The Super Nova goes off. They're all been stabbed. Arteezy down the ball. Arteezy's dead. Arteezy fighting over the magnetite. Crit trying to do his best to rectify the fight, keeping the magnetite going with the spot canvas. Gets a crit. IG turn. They take him down as well.
Yeah, this is the fight that IG needed. You know, they go in, Fly gets a good ulti up. Like, if he does not get Static Link, or if the Static Link is like 100 damage, you're still gonna feel those right clicks coming out from Sven, almost 600 damage on him, getting him closer to like level 25, even more damage, and getting him closer to the Swift Link. Then he's gonna have unlocked movement speed, will be able to bring that, break that link.
So just the initiation this time around, just a little too aggressive from EG. They both commit in onto Flyfly, but JC, perfect Lotus, lays it down onto Flyfly, causing Abed to pull himself in with the Vortex. And with Abed gone, things start to fall apart very quickly. Perfect use of the Supernova to guarantee that stun on RTZ's revival from the Aegis.
Yeah, that was such a clutch move as well on top of that. And Lotus Orb, like this is the best item pretty much that they can get against the Sven. Sorry, against the Razor. Also, he decided to get a Lotus Orb for himself on Razor.
Restore the void within.
There aren't too many like things to dispel. There is a silence from the Void Spirit. Sven does not have an Aghanim Scepter, so he's not following you, which is a really good item to counter it. I guess he just wants to have something against a bit of Malice to be able to move around freely.
But he's already got the BKB.
Maybe he was thinking, you know, I'm running out of slots. I bought that casual plate mail. What do I turn this into?
Sure, I think that's almost certainly it. And it is something that does mean when he commits to Flyfly, he doesn't want to use the BKB straight away. Suddenly Flyfly can't hold him back with the stun, because it's only going to cause Flyfly to stun himself. Flyfly does also have a BKB, but we'll see. They definitely didn't do too much for him in that last situation. Minotaur Horn also on Flyfly. He's getting tanky and tank here, and a big bit of that lead shut down there on the back of that last defense from IG, showing that they've still got a good punch ready to come out.
They still have to respect the damage coming out from Sven, because it's insane, especially if they've got a Lotus Orb on him, then you're not going to feel the static blink. Crit still deals a ton of damage in the team fight. They also gave him Spell Prism to lower the cooldown on his abilities. More rolls, more silences, and the lower cooldown on a BKB plus a Spirit Vessel. Next Roche may respawn in a minute and 30. Emo holding a gem. Oli picked that one up.
He's showing at the moment in the mid, Taka. With a spike carapace setup, will open up with the stun. IG, if they can commit onto him, RTZ is going to be able to easily get the BKB off. IG, they'll start to back off. Ice and Abed, they won't check. IG succeeding in getting the BKB charge down on RTZ. Now they want to fight. Now that they know the BKB is on cooldown, they can go for a big link. They're going to come in with the link, open up the bottom lane. Ice is heading over to clean it up, but he's going to have a nasty surprise. And IG turn up. Oh! Instant reactions though. As soon as he sees the team, BKB and a TPL. Ice is fine.
Sven even popped the ulti. Maybe he thought, you know, with 1 or 2 crits from Daedalus, I will have enough damage to bring him down. Lycan is super tanky, especially with the AC, and realizes they have nothing that goes to magic immunity, so I'm just going to TP out.
Huzzah!
About 2k away from the Aghanims on Abed. Make a big difference in these fights. Play around all the counter plays that IG have going for themselves. Flyfly did finish with Swift Blink, so big step up to his damage output. So he's able to close the gap and get that initiation with God Strength. Ben is going to hit incredibly hard.
Storm, he found Timeless Relic for himself. That's going to be a great item, especially once he picks up that Aghanim Scepter. He's getting very close, double damage in the bottle. Next Roche, minute and 30.
As well with the timing, Flyfly gets himself, gets 2 tomes actually sent out that were available still. So that pushed him up just half the level away from the level 25 now today.
Stacking the tomes, new strat.
Yeah, hit them with so that surprise XP jump at the end. Comes to 25s for EG, so a little away from them.
Dire's carrier has been killed.
Having his next time done. He's got it here, I believe.
Emo has a 10-second BKB. They need to be careful about this because he did not use it yet. And it's...
Stormcraft is actually kind of giving it away.
Oh yeah, I just forgot about that item. You know, it's one item that has a good dispel mechanic, but doesn't feel like it has a lot of synergy. You know, who's gonna bring that? Do you want to have that on the a spellcaster? Do you want to have that on someone who deals the damage? Mana regen is nice.
We're holding it like they were just then. I mean, EG are fully aware of where IG is sneaking around after proccing against the walls and the creeps. gonna try and find this. They're gonna lift the jump. RGB straight in a row, but he's been caught up with his point powerfully. Got the never catch him as he jumps in. Super up down. BKB pulled back.
Got that edge.
Turn. Take down the edge. Jump on the back line. They're on someone's right side. Right side. Turn around the middle. What's he gonna stand himself? What's the dodge straight? He turns. He takes down Ahmed. Crit falling on as well. The remnant. 1 point for Ahmed. Crit still alive. Kicks back Emo. Emo turns over towards him. You'll set up. Once the Crit. Crit will go down.
Like, they thought Sven's not gonna turn, but he also didn't have 25 there yet, but you can see the damage. Like, with the Swift Blink, unlocks the movement speed, just like completely turns around with the God Strength, gets 2 hits, and they're all like half HP or almost gone. Storm Spirit, you know, he does not have a defensive item for himself other than the Black King bar, so that's a bit problematic. You also need to respect still the damage coming out from Sven.
See as well, yeah, they did force out a couple of buybacks from IG, so IG putting a bit more money into that fight. At the same time, Crit comes out with his as EG. They don't want to let IG get the chance to get into Roche using those buybacks in the fight again. It's a good pick up, good way to start things, but Fly holding his ground, knowing that he would have the damage to turn and take down the 2 of them.
Roche is alive. Aegis, G's, and Aghanim Scepter.
New sign up that Axe. I mean, I guess, you know, Arbet would love to have to not buy his own. Still yet to buy into it.
And they can give it to him. They could also give it to Earth Spirit. I wouldn't mind seeing Earth Spirit with it, if they get it. But on the other side, Emo already has one. I think you just give it to Sven, if they are the ones who can pick it up. Like that transportation, the Superman mode, unlock. Oh, he also he also built the Lincoln Sphere, which I really like. You know, a Lotus Orb and the Lincoln Sphere against the Razor. It's a 9k gold lead for EG, but at the moment, like, you can't really feel that they're missing that amount of gold. It doesn't really matter.
They can't jump Fly and deal with him at the start of the fight. Fly is just going to cause a whole lot of issues as the fight draws on. If he can get that BKB and God Strength off without the threat of being static linked by Arteezy.
Bounty.
Around this area, lost fight here between Lost Aegis, Cheese and Aghanim as Arbed spending up the money. He'll invest in the Aghanim for himself.
Agents of the Void.
Have that good to go for the next fight.
They don't have too many abilities that they can, like, pierce this Lincoln Sphere with. They might use Frostbite. I don't think you want to use the Force Staff from the Crystal Maiden. You want to save that for defensive purposes.
Bounty.
They lost a gem. This is also the big part. You know, now IG, they're holding 2 gems. They still have Necro units to deward any possible wards. A big item on Razor, he got that Butterfly. Sven does not have a True Strike.
Cautious about Emo. Level 25, Hex Stun. That's a lot of lockdown from the Hex and the Simulate Stun. EG don't get their BKBs off in time. There will be more than enough chain stun to hold Arteezy in place to allow Fly to get the kill.
And the BKBs are down to 5 seconds.
Comes in. With the Hex, they come in. The damage is done by Fly. Overwatch quickly goes to BKB. Punch through there. Right now, Attacker catches Crit. Crit goes down as well.
Yeah, that jump, you know, they go in, but they get caught. There's so much control coming up from the Void Spirit. You have the Hex, you have that AoE silence, the Simulate also stuns, level 25 talent. Now they can go inside the pit. Crit already bought back in the previous fight, so he's not going to have it. Storm Spirit invested all of his gold into that new shiny Aghanim Scepter. I don't think they have enough to deal with that for farm Sven right now, and also Emo. Like, he managed to make a comeback after getting caught multiple times in a row, and he's super strong right now.
The impact he can have at this point, that much lockdown around these low is just pretty much unmatched from EG. Anytime IG get the jump, have the better time.
Oh, it's Nyx Assassin who picks up the axe. So he wants to throw himself.
something else in these team fights that's going to make it pretty much impossible for EG to keep the fight going when the BKBs end. So he'll have such an easy time just throwing out his abilities from a distance.
Do Radiant want their middle tower to fall? Radiant's middle tower.
IG ready to push up to the high ground their time. They're now holding the 5k lead. EG
And over here,
letting that strong mid game that they had really slip away now as IG, they're back in charge with how large Fly is.
Blanket
Radiant's
Wolves
top tower is under attack.
and Necro units, like, you need to keep that away from Sven. He pretty much one-shots it. Also, you need to keep it away from Pit of Malice.
And over
It
here,
will this lineup will start to fall off. You have a Razor, he deals the damage,
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
but they have the tools to deal with him, right? There is a Lincoln Sphere, there is a Lotus Orb.
Easy. Opportunities on the front. Easy dead. He's got a buyback. Easy dead for 100, 350 gold short from buyback. It's a crit stun as well. His buyback on cooldown. I mean, they're just sitting on the high ground. Having a look out. Suddenly, Icy there on top of him. He's gone. Icy's going to have all the space in the world to take so much here from the base of EG.
Yeah, that's a minute and 20 seconds without...
Radiant's
Oh
top
my
tower.
god, they can't pick up
I
any
mean, that might be it.
boundaries.
Radiant's top tower.
IG realized
They
there's no
probably
buyback.
think, you know, he has it, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, and they're poking pretty hard here with Fly.
How long can Radiant's top tower
Now,
stand?
they're being cautious though. They're looking towards the ranks instead, already with the jump. Straight up towards the Phantom. Emo's looking to get more
Radiant's
kills
top
here. Fly
barracks
will
has
live.
fallen.
As he gets away, actually Emo losing his shot at the good that dive. We have Ice Ice trying for the split mid. He does have creeps putting in with him, Ice Ice. So Ice Ice might just be enough to stop EG from losing anything more than the mid and the top rack.
He's being very
Radiant's
cautious
middle
about what's
barracks is
happening. He
full.
has the Wolves, Necro
Radiant's top
available,
tower
but
is
they
under
might go for the Mega.
And then they're sticking
30
around.
seconds without Arteezy.
They know now that RTZ has not got the gold to get back in. Still 100 gold short on the Razor.
Radiant's bottom tower is about to fall.
CG then trying to start it. They've got to be careful. Can't come with the bar. He's able to try and get the setup. Onto Fly. Forces back to safety. JT actually going to look to take them out here. Zarbeck comes in. They're looking to jump on the JT, but JT gets them all out.
Yeah, that's a level 3 ulti for second teleport delay. At least they did not get the Mega Creep, so they still have possibly one more fight. Arteezy definitely needs to farm up his buyback. He's going to have it in the 400 gold. Double damage spawned on top. They're still ages for almost full 2 minutes. IG, they want to take another fight.
They still know how strong of a position they're in right now off the back of those last few moves. 11k lead. IG just playing this late game perfectly, and EG starting to make some mistakes.
This could be the big one. You know, Storm Spirit hitting level 25. He has that Electric Rave as well on top of the Aghanim Scepter. I'm not sure if anyone bought the Tome or was it him, but they might need this. Like, it's ton of damage.
It's so much damage. It really is. Big times overload attack bouncing the whole team. As long as they can live to get their hits off, BKBs are down on IG. Can't underestimate how much magical burst that will do at this stage again. Fly is just ever so tanky. 4.4k gold as he's ready to start building towards his next item. 10k ahead of that of the farm of Arteezy right now.
Still have that Aegis. They have gems, so they can get rid of any kind of vision. They also have cheese on Void Spirit.
The IG, they're looking for the jump. They want to make it. Emo's in! Look at themselves out on towards the stone for Ahmed. They're going to be giving up, but he can't zip away in time. Ahmed down for 90 seconds. Without the goal for buyback. EG are going to try and commit. Arteezy's going to be BKB. On the back, JT's ready to rip the team out though. The rip is going to take them away in, but Emo
Oh, they
and
forgot.
Kaka
They forgot
behind.
Nick.
They kind of split up. Einstein takes all there, but with a slither of health as he's able to run away. Emo's still fighting back against Nick. Kaka remaining borrowed. Causing positions here for EG as they'll slowly but surely bring him down. Emo trying to finish up with the back up there. Arteezy jumps across.
He's gone in a second. They did not time it. Oh, that would be so big.
As it is, Emo's just going to get a free reset. As time's been important for the rest of IG to get back over. And now still 50 seconds without Arbed. IG, they'll still play it careful. Not wanting to push in with Kaka dead.
Surprised that JT decided to just bail them out completely. I think like they can go for this kind of a play with Sven focusing the barracks and then bailing. They also need to be careful about the force staff so that someone does not get caught inside of the base without getting back. Oh, we can see that. Like Razor, he's also level 25, extra attack speed. It's just a lot of damage. A lot of damage. He might not be able to get the static link off the Sven anymore unless they proc his Lincoln Sphere, so might just go for a different target.
See it again here. She said, well, what do you reckon the time it was on that Aegis? Were you keeping track of it?
Yeah, I was keeping track. It was
4 seconds, apparently. So close to making such a big play, but couldn't quite control how quickly they took down Emo. So Emo able to get away with sticking around, and
it was like 3-0-1, you know, but once it needs to kick in, so it was very close.
G to hit out with a smoke here. See there, Aghanim's JT's going to have an even easier time of quickly taking his team out if he feels that the fight is going the wrong way.
EG will love to farm up buybacks on especially on the Storm Spirit. Like Lycan doesn't matter that much, especially if he uses the form already. But they need this buyback on the Storm Spirit, and they would also love to get that level 25.
29-24. IG still with the 12k lead. Just fly. Getting close to the money to be able to slot something out and get his Abyssal Blade in. Still have buyback gold available pretty easy. Incredibly rich.
Radiant's middle
The
tower
pressure,
is
and
under
of course, with that shard, that extra reach simulate that he'll have means that just the area of coverage that he can get
so
in onto you and get that 2.5 second stun off, it makes it so hard to choose the right time to start retreating, as he'll always be able to chase you with that much range.
Dark Rift, Aghanim Scepter upgraded by Underlord, so that means 1 second less delay.
They're gonna jump on BG, keep it in! But they're in, they've got the Hex, they've got the Dissimulate stun on BG, it's over, he's gonna take it out, gets the PKB on! Oh, that's fair, he's not BG will be able to keep himself down! Oh, they've got Bruce over the back, nice takes down Ollie, but the rod's there, the control outside sides, they bring him down, the Lycan falls!
Radiant's bottom barracks
Somehow though, EG able to keep RTZ alive. Nearly ending in another disaster there. RTZ still does not have the buyback goal. It's the middle line, RTZ moving in, they've got the link down on the fly, still going to take it outside, they can! Rip gets fly out of there! Not easy. He's right.
He's gonna drop.
He must have to just walk back up to him and out the Hex. He must have to send him on to crit. The Hex into the stand.
Question mark in the old chat. All right, I love that. GG's call. He was just standing there. All right.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Spicing it up a little bit. As oh my goodness.
That was so close. They managed to get out. Void Spirit still stays in. And they get the kill on Abed. Unfortunately for EG, they did not have buybacks on any of the 3 cores.